Dear students, welcome to the science class. We were discussing about the light topic, light chapter, and we discussed about the up to the point that we are come to a up to point we have studied about the image formation of the spherical lenses. Today we are going to study about the image formation by the spherical lenses. Up to this point we discussed everything which is going to come in the light topic. We already discussed in the previous class for tips for the purpose for the drawing the ray diagrams to find out the position of the image in the case of the spherical lenses. If you remember the previous class, it is very important. If you remember the previous class, the light ray which is traveling. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the convex lens, image formation by the convex lens. If you remember the previous class about the convex lens, in that we discussed about the tips for the drawing the ray diagram for the convex lens. That is nothing but when a light ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis in the convex lens case, on refraction it is going to travel through the principal focus on the other side of that convex lens. In the same manner, when a light ray which is traveling or which is passing through the optic center of that convex lens, it is not going to change its direction. That is nothing but it is going to travel in the same direction only. It is not going to change its path. In the same manner, you take the another light ray which is traveling or passing through the principal focus in case of convex lens. On refraction, it is going to travel parallel to the principal axis. Those three light rays are very important for the purpose of the drawing the ray diagrams. In the same manner, if you remember the previous classes, that is nothing but for the formation of the images, how many light rays are required? There are two light rays are required which should be merged to each other, or those should intersect at a point so that there will be a formation of the image. So that by using those points, we are going to draw the ray diagrams in case of convex lens today. At the different position of the object, we are going to keep the object at different position so that we are going to get the knowledge that where does the image is going to be formed. The position of the image is going to be formed. So that we are going to draw the ray diagrams. For that reason, you require, again in the last class and the previous class I told you, compass is required, lead pencil is required, scale is required, and you should take the accurate dimensions. You should take accurate dimensions. So one by one I am going to tell you. First you have to draw the principal axis. Principal axis, and this will be the optic center of the mirror lens, and this will be the principal focus, this will be the center of curvature, and this will be the principal focus on the other side, this will be the center of curvature on the other side. Right. Now what we have to do? We have to take the dimensions which are equal in both the cases. If we taken the dimensions from O to C, that is nothing but center of the curvature to the optic center. If I want to take it, you can take it as 8 cm in your books. If you want to take it, you can take it as 6 cm. It depends on you. If you take 8 cm, it will be larger. If you take 6 cm, it will be also good. Not less than 6 cm. You shouldn't take less than 6 cm. For the accurate diagram, you should take 6 cm only. Either you take 6 cm or 8 cm. It's up to you. If I take this is equal to 6 cm, this length is equal to 6 cm. This is also equal to 6 cm only. If this is equal to 6 cm, what will be the length from F1 to the O? This will be the half of the O to C. That is nothing but this will be 3 cm only. This is also equal to 3 cm only. So that in this way you have to take the dimensions. Now to draw a convex lens you already know that it will be thicker at the middle. It will be thicker at the middle and it will be bulging outside. It will be bulging out. It will be bulging out. So that we have to make such a diagram by using that it should be bulged out. So that we are going to take the dimension, that is nothing but we have to draw a curved surface. For the purpose of the drawing the curved surface, we are going to take the point here from this point. If I am going to take the point from here, we have to take compass. The length of the radius should be more than the distance of C to O. More than C to O. That is nothing but if it is equal to 6 cm, you have to take 6.5 cm or 6.75 cm. You have to take 6.5 cm or 6.75 cm. It should be more than C to O. So that it should give an accurate diagram. If you take 7 cm, 7.5 cm, this will be very bigger. So that try to take in between 6.5 cm to 7 cm. So that I am going to take here 6.5 cm. And you have to draw a curved surface here. will be like this. The same dimension you are going to take and you have to, from this point you have to draw the another curved surface. This will be like this. So that when you draw like this, the point will be exactly at the middle of this lens. Exactly middle at the lens. So that we are going to, it's not necessary to draw this dotted line. I am just drawing the dotted line so that I am going to get the correct rays. In this way you have to draw the ray diagram. In this way you have to take the dimensions. These dimensions are applicable for each ray diagram. In case of convex lens, this dimension you should take care and you should draw like this only so that you can get an accurate diagram. Right. Next. Now we are going to see about a different position of the object we are going to keep, and we are going to seek the where does the image is going to form. We are going to find out the position of the image, where it is going to be formed. So there in the first case, always remember the nature of the image and nature of these ray diagrams as well as nature of the image. When you keep the object beyond C, what will happen to the nature of the image? You should remember all those things. Right, so that the first case, we are going to keep the object. Object is kept beyond C. Object is kept beyond C. We are going to keep this object beyond C. Now, where does the object can be kept? It is going to be kept beyond C like this. How does the object can be shown? By an arrow mark. It should be upright and it should be shown by the arrow mark, and it always should be on the left hand side. So that I am going to name it as AB. Object is AB. Now in this case, what you have to do? If the object is kept beyond C, for the formation of the image, how many ray diagrams or how many rays are required? There are required 2 light rays. 2 light rays which are going to come from this object, so that if the 2 light rays which are bursting, then we can say that the image is going to form at that point. So the first light ray will be, which is coming like this, which is traveling parallel to the principal axis. If you remember the previous class, any light ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis, in case of convex lens, on refraction, which is going to pass through the principal focus. On refraction, it is going to pass through the principal focus like this. It is going to pass through the principal focus like this. In case of this, you should show the arrow marks also. Now this is the first light ray. Now second light ray, when you take this, either you can take the light ray which is passing through the principal focus, first condition, either directly take the light ray which is passing through the optic center of that lens. In this case, I am going to take the light ray which is passing through the optic center of the lens. It is going to travel like this. The incident ray, the refracted ray. If you remember the previous class, the light ray which is traveling, passing through the optic center, it doesn't going to change its direction. That is nothing but it not going to change its path. There will be no refraction. In this manner, the light ray is going to pass. When you check that point, here the point where both the light rays are intersecting, both the light rays which are intersecting, so there the image is going to form here. Show those things correctly. Here the image is going to form here, so that it will be A dash and this will be B dash. This way you should draw the ray diagram. This is the ray diagram for the purpose of the convex lens when the object is kept beyond C. Right. When you check this ray diagram, this is the original light ray which is refracted. This is also the original light ray which is refracted. Both are merging at a point. That means we can say that this is a real image. Both the original light rays are merging, so that we can say that it is a real image. If you don't find out that, if you remember the previous classes, in that previous classes I told you that any inverted image will be a real image. When you see this image, how it look like? It is inverted one. It is inverted one, so that nature of the image can be said there. Nature of the image. When you check the image, how it looks like, it is inverted one. First, it is inverted one. Inverted image. Second condition, when you closely look the size of the object to the size of the image, it is smaller in the size compared to the object. So that image is smaller in size. Image is smaller in size. Third condition, when you check it is forming in between C and F. It is forming in between C and F. So C and F, C2 and F2. You can see that C2 and F2. If you remember the previous class, all the inverted images are what? They are real images. This image is real image. This image is real image. The same way, if you remember the previous class, in case of mirror, all the images which are forming on the left hand side, all images which are forming on the left hand side are real images. But in this case, the images which are forming on the right hand side, in case of lens, whichever image which is forming on the right hand side always will be real image. This is the nature of the image when the object is kept beyond C. When object is kept beyond the nature of the center of the curvature, the image is going to form in between C and F. Right? It will be smaller in size. It will be real image. This is the first ray diagram. Now, next we are going to draw the second ray diagram. The second condition. This will be the first condition. In this manner, we are going to draw 6 ray diagrams in case of convex lens. The second condition, the object we are going to keep. Object is kept in between. We are going to keep the object in between C and F. We are going to keep the object in between C1 and F1. In generally, you can write just C and F. So that again we have to draw the lens. Now this will be the optic center. This will be the F1, and this will be the C1, and this will be the F2, and this will be the C2. So that we have to draw the lines by using those points. Lens will be like this, and this will be the aperture. So where we are going to keep the object? We are going to keep the object in between C1 and F1. We are going to keep the object in between C1 and F1. This will be the A and this will be the B. Right? Again we have to take 2 ray diagrams or 2 rays of the light. So that first ray of light is going to travel parallel to the principal axis. Which is going to travel to the parallel to the principal axis in this way. What will happen after the refraction? It is going to pass through the principal focus. So that this light ray is going to travel and pass through the principal focus like this. It should be correct, accurate. By using the scale, you should draw those lines accurately. This is the incident ray and this is the refracted ray. After traveling parallel to the principal axis, it is going to pass through the principal focus in this manner. When I take the second light ray, I am going to take second light ray which is going to travel on the O, or it is passing through the optic center. If I take that light ray which is passing through the optic center like this, this is the incident light ray. It is going to continuously travel like this. You draw it accurately. So that I am going to extend this line so that both the light rays should meet at a point. Now where does they are meeting? They are meeting at this point. So that the image is going to fall at this point only. So that image will be like this. This will be A dash and this will be B dash. Right? When you check that, when an object is kept between C and F, the image is going to form where? It is going to form beyond C. When you check this ray diagram, the image is going to form beyond C. So that we are going to write the nature of the image. That is nothing but the image is forming beyond C. First nature will be, it will be formed beyond C. forming beyond C. When you see that C is here, image is forming here, so that from the mirror or from the lens, the image is forming beyond C. Beyond C. In the same manner, second nature, the image is inverted one. Image is inverted one. So then second nature will be image is inverted. Third nature, all the inverted images are what? All the inverted images are real images. So then we can say that it is a real image. Inverted image, real image. The fourth condition will be what? Fourth condition will be what? When you check the size of the object and the size of the image. The size of the object is like this much, and this right, size of the object is this much, and the size of the image is this much. So then when you compare both the sizes, size of the image is comparatively larger than the size of the object. So that image is larger. Image is larger. In two cases we came to conclusion. Right, that is nothing but when object is kept in between C and F, the image thus is going to form beyond C, and it will be inverted, and it will be real image, and the size of the image will be larger than the size of the object. But when we keep the object in between, beyond C, the image thus formed will be in between C and F in case of convex lens, and the image will be real one, and the image will be inverted one. In the same manner, the size of the image will be smaller than the size of the object. So in this way you have to remember, right? Now we are going to see the third case. The third case, we are going to keep the object. In case of convex lens, we are going to keep the object beyond C, that is nothing but at infinity. We are going to keep the object at infinity. Object is kept at infinity. Object kept at infinity. We don't know the value, we don't know the position of the object, where does it kept. We have to find out the position of the image if the object is kept at infinity. So that again we have to draw the convex lens. The same manner we have to point out O, this will be the F1, this will be the C1, this will be the F2, and this will be the C2. Right here we have to draw what? We have to draw convex lens. Right. Now this way you have to draw those things. If you remember the previous classes, in case of concave mirror, when an object kept at the infinity, the light rays which are coming from the infinity are always travel parallel to the principal axis. If you remember the ray diagrams for the purpose of the concave mirror as well as convex mirror. In the same manner, when an object is kept at infinity, we don't know where it is kept. Where it is kept, we don't know. That means if the object is kept at infinity, the light rays which are coming from that object will always travel parallel to the principal axis. Those are always travel parallel to the principal axis, so that we are going to take the light rays which are coming from the object which is kept at infinity are parallel to the principal axis in this way. So that what happens? The light ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis, on refraction they are going to pass through the principal focus like this. On refraction, they are going to pass through the principal focus like this. The same manner, another light ray which is coming from the infinity, another light ray which is coming from the infinity, from the object which is kept at infinity, is also traveling parallel to the principal axis. It is also traveling parallel to the principal axis. On refraction, it is going to pass through the principal focus. On refraction, it is going to pass through the principal focus. When you check the point of incidence, the point of incidence of both the light rays are exactly at the principal focus only. It is exactly at the principal focus only. So that we can say that the image thus forming on the principal focus. Right? Thus image is forming on the principal focus. If you remember the point which I told, that any image which is forming in the right hand side, in case of lens, will be a real image. It will be a real image. The same manner, it will be inverted one, so that nature of the image can be same there. Nature of the image, nature of the image is nothing but first thing. First one, it will be inverted one. Why it is real image? So that it is inverted one. Second thing, it will be real image. It will be real image. Third condition, it will be what? When you check the size of that object, size of the image, it will be very small, very small. Either you can say it is diminished one, or you can say that point size. Either you can say that point size or diminished, both are same. Diminished is nothing but is very small. Diminished or point size. The fourth one is, when does it forming? It is forming exactly at the principal focus, so that position of the image will be at principal focus. So that it is forming of the principal focus. Principal focus, that is nothing but That is nothing but That is nothing but when an object is kept at infinity, the light ray which are going to come are always in the parallel to the principal axis of refraction. They are going to pass through the principal focus. At the principal focus, when the two light rays, the refracted light rays, are going to intersect with each other, there the image is going to form. So that nature of the image is nothing but it is going to form at the principal focus at the other side. First nature. Second nature, it will be a real image because it is forming on the right hand side in case of lens. If it is a real image, it will be inverted image. When you check the size of that image, it is point size. These are the nature of the image when the object is kept at the infinity. When you check these things, if I take n number of light rays which are traveling parallel to the principal axis, again here I am going to take this light ray, this light ray, this light ray, this light ray. All the light rays are going to converge here. All the light rays are going to converge at the point F, at the principal axis. So that the light which are coming from the infinity parallel to the principal axis, they are converging at a point. That means we can say that this lens has the converging lens. We can say that convex lens is a converging lens. Converging lens. If you remember, converging mirror is what? Converging mirror is concave mirror. Why? The light which are coming from the infinity are converging at a point that is nothing but principal focus in case of concave mirror. So that concave mirror is known as converging mirror. In case of this convex lens is known as converging lens. Convex lens is known as converging lens. So that remember those things. In some type of examination, they are going to ask, the director are going to ask, find out the position of the image. They are going to give the converging lens as well as converging mirror. So that remember, converging lens is convex lens, converging mirror is concave mirror. So that next, I hope this is clear. Now next, what we are going to do? We are going to do the fourth condition, that is nothing but when object is kept at infinity is over. Now we are going to keep the object at F. We are going to keep the object at F. That is nothing but we are going to keep the object at principal focus. Again, same diagram. Principal axis, optic center, principal focus, center of the curvature C1 F1. In the same manner, it will be F2 and this will be the C2 and this will be the concave lens. Please remember all those things, all the dimensions, and try to draw those things using the dimensions only. Now, where does we are going to keep the object? We are going to keep the object at F. That is nothing but A, B. We are going to keep the object at F. Again, we are going to take the two light rays which is passing, which is coming from the object. The first light ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis, that is nothing but this one. On refraction, it is going to pass through the principal focus. It is going to pass through the principal focus. Again, take the second light ray which is passing through the optic center. This is passing through the optic center. This is going to travel like this. It is not going to change its direction. When you check both the light rays are traveling parallel to each other. Both the light rays which are going are traveling parallel to each other. That means they are converging here? No. That means they are going to converge at a point beyond our imagination. It is going to converge at a point. That point we don't know. If they are going to converge or intersect at a point in the right hand side, the image thus formed will be what? the image that formed will be the real image. So that we are going to write the nature of the image. Nature of the image. Those are nothing but the image is going to form at some point. You don't know that point. That is nothing but we can say that the image is going to form at the infinity. So that position of the image is infinity. Second, if the image is forming at the right hand side, the light which is reflected at the real one, so that image will be real image. The image will be the real image. And third, C, that is nothing but image. If the image is real image, then the image will be inverted one. The image will be inverted one. D, if the image is inverted one and the image is forming at infinity, then the size of the image will be very large. Size of the image is very large. Size of the image is large. Is larger. So that these are the nature of the image. When object is kept at F, image is going to form at infinity. It will be inverted one and it will be real one, and the size of the image will be larger one. So remember all those ray diagrams. In the next class we are going to discuss further two ray diagrams that are going to come this topic, and we are going to discuss about the ray diagrams in case of concave lens in the next class. Up to that point, draw the ray diagrams accurately, try to remember all those things. And when you check those things, all those things, when you compare those things, first two ray diagrams and second two ray diagrams, both are interlinked. When you check that this ray diagram, the object is kept at infinity, image is forming on F. When you check interlink with this thing, when object is kept at F, the image is forming at the infinity. If we interchange the positions of that image and object, there will be interchanging in the position of the image. If I keep the object at infinity, the position of the image will be at F. If I keep the object on F, the position of the image will be at infinity. Cross those things, crossing those two things, as well as the first two ray diagrams, we come to conclusion that the ray diagrams are vice versa. This is the vice versa of that. The first ray diagram is the vice versa of the second ray diagram. So that in this manner, try to remember all those things which are very important for your examination purpose as well as for the understanding purpose. So that try to remember those things. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the further sections in the next class. Up to that point, thank you, take care, stay well, stay home. Thank you.